It's not unheard of that addicts tend to lie and go to great lengths to get the things that they need. You know, their drugs, their alcohol, whatever it is. But most people don't understand a lot about addiction. And that can be tough because a person might be seen as a bad human being for the things that they do. And often enough, they're just sick. Addiction takes people to places that they, otherwise would never be, whether they're doing drugs or drinking. And maybe we can, take a step back and understand that a little bit more and talk about it. Addiction's easy enough to understand. Most of us know someone that's had a form of addiction in their life, via alcohol, drugs, something like that. And we think that we feel betrayed and unloved when someone, uses us for whatever it is that they're trying to get. Lying is a big part of what happens when someone gets involved with drugs or, say, alcohol. And it would be easy to push that person aside and just say, wow, that's a terrible person. I wish they hadn't have done that to me, and play the victim card, when we really need to understand what's going on in the mind of that person that is using said drugs or alcohol. What you truly have to understand is that addiction is a disease. Most of these people are being controlled by the drug or alcohol that they're abusing in the moment. It's the word shame that comes to mind when I think of an addict or alcoholic who tells lies, does things that they shouldn't do. An addict lies to keep their addiction going. Often enough, it's because of the shame and the things that they're doing, and they're under control by the drugs that they're using. The drugs take a chemical effect to that brain that changes someone. Remember that this person isn't who they are in that moment. Drugs take a person down a rabbit hole that changes everything about them up here. They are not bad people, they're just sick and confused and don't, some people can't determine what reality is from fiction. Brené Brown says that shame is unspeakable. It's the unspeakable truth. And that honestly is what's going on with, addicts. They're doing things that they're ashamed of, and they are unaware of the pain that they're causing the other people that are around them. So to understand shame, we have to understand that this person is an addict. Judging a person by their actions when they're an addict is tough to do. You have to understand more about the chemistry that's going on in the brain. This is not who you know. This person is different now. The National Institute of Drug Disorder says that addiction is a brain disorder, that the things that go on through a drug addict's brain are obsessive. Once you start using a substance that you become addicted to, it's all that you think about. It's all that you want, all that you need in the world. You don't need family, you don't need friends, you don't need anything that has to do with love or life. I can't tell you how many times as an alcoholic I would hide a flask in my room just to have a little extra alcohol to sip on during the night if I ran out of money or drinks. I can't tell you how obsessed I was over alcohol. As an alcoholic, I would hide beer, a fifth of Jack, all kinds of stuff in my closet and other places around my room so other people wouldn't notice I was drinking. I tried to control my drinking by limiting the time I'd do it. Like I'd wake up in the afternoon, still have a hangover from the day before, and then decide if I only drank from 6 to 9, well, maybe I'd still be, awake enough to get up for work in the morning. That obsessive need for your addictive vice takes over the brain. It's the only thing that you think about, it's the only thing you want. So when it comes to friends and family, I shove them to the side and put my own selfish needs at work. That was my ego talking, right? I was the only person in my little world, and the only way I was going to be satisfied was having a beer. Addicts lie for a number of reasons. Shame just happens to be a part of addiction. So don't think that you have to outright judge that person because of the things that they're doing. That's not who they are. Right now, that person's in trouble, They're feeling some dark sides in here, and what they need is help, whether that be a therapist or a detox. I have loved ones that have been through the same thing I have. Addiction is everywhere. So don't judge that person just yet based on a lie they told you or something they stole. Instead, step back and try to understand what that person is going through and try to help them. Loving an addict is going to be really hard. You're going to go through a lot of pain before you see the fruits of your labor. you know. But just remember that anyone and everyone can step away from their addiction. You just have to figure out what it is that person needs most in their life. Well, that's all I got for the day. I hope you've had a good one, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.